right?
Yes.
I used to have this in the classroom. They said, used all this technology. Well, it's when you got 28 or 25 junior high kids waiting there for you to perform and the technology doesn't work, you have to improvise from time to time. So here we go. We'll go ahead and we're gonna call the meeting to order. And we do have a quorum, and this is also a quorum for the solid waste disposal district also, as well as the county commissioners. Commissioner Jackson is still recovering from surgery, from hip replacement surgery. So this is actually less than a week. So he will be back with us, I'm sure, next week. We do have a quorum, obviously, and now how about Mr. Martin? Would you like to do the flag salute for us today? To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. We have no public comment. Okay.
I move that we approve the presentations, including two proclamations, one recognizing October 6th through the 12th, 2019 as Lewis County 4-H Week, as well as a second proclamation recognizing October 6th through the 12th as Fire Prevention Week.
Second.
So we should probably have the 4-H folks come read the
Yes.
proclamation.
Right now.
Introduce yourselves. Need a second to work for them.
Here we.
I think Reva's going to get you another room. I don't know if we can hear you. Maybe you
I
might
don't
need to
think
use
so.
the microphone. Sorry,
I'm
ladies.
going to let
Testing,
you.
testing.
There we go. We want everyone to hear your voices. Yes, please do.
Pam Watson, Washington State University Extension. I'm your 4-H faculty person for Lewis County.
Leanna McMahon. I've been a 4-H leader for 25 years in Randall. My club is Crafty Critters.
Thank you, ladies.
Washington State University, Lewis County Extension 4-H Week, October 6th through October 12th, 2019 in Lewis County, Washington. Whereas the WSU Lewis County Extension 4-H Youth Program is proud to honor the efforts of our 4-H volunteers who have provided high-quality life skill education with hands-on learning to our county youth, and
Whereas this positive youth development program provides learning experiences for the whole child, including head, heart, hands, and health, and helps our county youth acquire knowledge, develop life skills, and enables them to become self-directed, productive, and contributing members of our community. And
whereas we reach over 760 Lewis County youth ranging from kindergarten through 12th grade who come from diverse ethnic and socioeconomic backgrounds and truly represent a cross-section of our county ranging from cities to rural areas, and
whereas the program achieves success with the commitment and passion of the 145 4-H adult volunteers who have generously given of their time, talents, energies, and resources that help make 4-H an effective prevention program.
And whereas since 1902, the 4 H program has contributed to the positive development of young people who are more likely to contribute to their communities, more likely to have healthy behaviors, and more likely to engage in science, technology, engineering, art, and math, or STEAM, programs outside of school through relevant and engaging 4 H programs and activities.
Now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Lewis County Commissioners hereby designates October 6th through October 12th, 2019 as 4-H Week. We commend the support provided by families, volunteers, organizations, businesses, community leaders, and funding partners to the program's success.
We urge all people in our county to join us in this special observance.
Ladies, can you tell me if someone wanted to become involved in 4-H, how would they do so?
Great question. They can contact our office directly, the Lewis County Extension Office, WSU Lewis County Extension Office, or in October, because it's our kickoff month, we start taking new enrollments starting this week. We have a few open houses coming up. We have one tomorrow at our office between 11 and 1.
And where is your office?
Our office is kind of kitty corner to us. We are 17 Southwest Cascade Avenue, Chehalis. We're at the end of the parking lot across the road. And we also have an open house on Thursday, October 10th from 4 to 8 p.m. over at Tractor Supply during our paper clover days. And then we have another open house in conjunction with the Morton Up Lights On After School event out at Morton High School, Thursday, October 24th from 5:30 to 7:30.
And what is your phone number at WSU if they want to just call you and talk to a person?
Our direct office line is 360-740-1212. That'll put you through to our office manager.
We appreciate everything you do as a former 4-H'er myself, that I know it really impacts kids' lives, and they do have other things to do that gives parents an option for productive activity. I'm sure Commissioner Stamper, when he was a principal, he really appreciated 4-H as an option for kids that were going to school. And homeschool kids are involved in this quite a bit too, right?
Well, you think about we think of the fair as the big events, but even the smaller ones for sure. People, volunteers are out there doing fundraisers, collecting money. The kids are out there scrapping every day, parents and volunteers. So it's very, very appreciative on what everyone does to keep this program going and thriving. Thank you very much.
Can I share a comment that
Absolutely.
made me think of?
Absolutely.
At the fair this year, we had a gentleman come through the sewing building and looking at all the exhibits. And he came to me so thrilled and he said, "Can you give me the names of the people who taught these kids how to sew?" Not realizing it's grandma, it's mom, it's the 4-H leaders.
Absolutely.
There's just, the list would be quite long. And we appreciate that.
Thank you, guys. Thank
And
you very
didn't
much.
we have a number of our kids go to the state fair at Puyallup? And they did very well, I understand. Thank you.
Thank you. Now we have Fire Prevention Week. Good morning, Rick.
And I understand we just had a poster contest and you are going to be announcing the winners.
Yeah.
Yes. Smoke alarm.
Yes.
Little slower so she can hold this up and we can look at it. Yeah. Have Vanna doing this. Yeah. That's okay. That was quite the outstanding rendition. The artwork. That person's going to be an engineer or something. So.
Yeah.
So, Chief, you're going to be calling these children and letting them know to come to a celebration?
Nice. Very good.
And where did you get all that
Wow.
money? Where did you get all that money? And Chief, there's one more thing. What are you doing in February? You will be greatly missed. You have
Yes.
been the champion for this coloring contest, getting it out to all the schools. You have been the person that has made this happen, and we appreciate all the work you've done. How many years have you worked? As a 32 years. Thank you.
Chief, I do have one question regarding the smoke alarms. Now, fire districts, I know that they do an annual event, especially this time of the year when we're transitioning from warm weather to cooler weather where you start burning wood stoves and those types of things. Is there an opportunity for people, and I know fire districts do a great job, for public service, recognizing that where maybe just where someone can't afford them or they choose, and because of your outreach, I know you guys do a great job for that. So. Yeah. Yeah. They. Yeah. And From what I understand, all it takes is probably a phone call from a resident, and the fire chief in particular would make sure that those arrangements are met. So, anyway, anyway, okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Chief.
Okay. Okay, so, yeah, we passed this motion. So a motion has been made and seconded to approve two proclamations, that is recognizing October 6th, 2019 as 4-H week, and then the second is recognizing October 6th, 2019 as Fire Prevention Week. Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passed. Okay, we are, Josh, you're going to be on, but we're going to take a 5-minute recess to get our technology in order. Are you okay with that? Yeah, I am. Okay, you're not going anywhere.
You don't want that.
Testing. Testing. What's that? Count to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Do I have to walk a line too?
This one right here. Testing. Testing, testing. This is the old system.
Testing, 1, 2, 3.
Testing,
Me?
testing, testing. Yeah. Okay, are we ready to go here? We ready to go? Okay. 1 minute.
Now these are working? Okay.
Testing, testing. Nope.
They're both working now? Can I shut this down?
Testing. Right. Here it comes. Right. All right.
Let's try it now. Can everyone hear us?
All right.
Okay, good.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you. This is the new system, by the way.
Yes, this is it.
So, anyway. Go ahead and wait.
All right. I move that we approve the notice item, Resolution 19-287, request for proposals for the preparation of a transfer station feasibility study for Lewis County solid waste.
Second.
Good morning, Commissioners. Josh Metcalf, Lewis County Public Works Director, Clerk of the Solid Waste District Board as well. Here to speak on Resolution 19-287. This is a notice to issue a request for proposals for preparation of a transfer station feasibility study for Lewis County solid waste. We are looking to put a request for proposals out for professional consulting engineering services to help solid waste district with a completion of a feasibility study that'll look at current operations at our facility, as well as potential sites for a new location to develop a new transfer station. Feasibility study will also look at the preliminary facility design of a new facility and what the operations would look like, and then provide some options or recommendations for our current operations, as well as looking into the future at the existing site. We're looking to put this proposal, notice out on this proposal in the Chronicle on October 8th and again on October 15th. Proposals will be due back to Public Works by November 4th, where we will open them. You have any questions?
No?
I don't.
Thank
Steve,
you.
do you have any comments on this? Okay, good. Okay, so a motion has been made and second to approve Resolution 19-287. That is a RFP and for the preparation of a transfer feasibility study of Lewis County solid waste. Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Passed.
I move that we approve the consent items, approval of minutes of September 30th, 2019, as well as Resolution 19-288, approval of warrants.
Second.
Good morning, Commissioners. Suzette Smith, Chief Accountant, Auditor's Office, here to present to you Resolution Number 19-288. This is the weekly approval of warrants against the various county departments. Last week, we issued 193 warrants and direct deposits. The warrants were numbered 819781 through 819952, and the direct disbursements were numbered 1272 through 1275, 1277 through 1280, 1282, 1284, 1285, 1287, 1288, 1290, 1295, 1321 through 1323, 1332, 1338, and 1340 for a total of $2,272,325.74. The skip in sequence in the direct disbursements has to do with treasurers issuing direct disbursements themselves, and some direct disbursements not making it through the audit process in sequential order. In addition, we note the following series of warrants as a skip in sequence, as they were issued on behalf of our special purpose districts. They were numbered 819767 through 819780. Any questions? Thank you.
Ms. Smith.
Thank you, Suzette. Okay, a motion is made and second to approve two consent items. That's the approval of the September 30th, 2019 business meeting, as well as approval of warrants on resolution 19-288. Okay. Any more discussion?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passed. Thank you. Okay, now we are going into public hearing. The first one is resolution 19-289. That's the approval of proposed modifications to the Vader Enchanted Valley Water System fee and rate schedule. We will first have a staff report, followed by a question and answer period. We will then close the question and answer period and open the hearing for formal testimony. Anyone wishing to testify, please sign up in the sheet at our lectern. You will have 3 minutes. Betsy?
Good morning. I'm Betsy Dillon. I'm the Senior Engineer for Utilities and Stormwater for Lewis County Public Works. And I'm here today to present the proposed changes to the utility fees and rate sheet for the Vader water system. So we have right here the fee and rate sheet that we give to customers. And at the bottom there, we have water usage charges. And those are the charges that the customers see on their bills every other month. And that's made up of two parts, the base charge and the usage charge. The base charge is a constant flat fee charged the same to every customer every month. And then there's the usage charge, which is charged based on how much water they use. And we're proposing to increase both of those charges. The base charge would increase from $47.05 per month to $48.45 per month for a $1.40 increase. And the usage charge would increase from $7.05 per 1,000 gallons to $7.25 per 1,000 gallons, which is a 20-cent increase. And that's about a 3% increase for both of those. And these would go into effect on November 1st, which means that customers would not see them on their bills until January. So.
Betsy, I've got a couple questions here, or one anyway. So it appears, and again, we know that, we have a lot of people on fixed incomes, and it's very, very difficult to come up with this money from time to time. So when we approached the Vader City Council, have we had some comments there specifically regarding this issue as far as, and I'm concerned about the people that are on fixed income and the elderly.
Well, we did visit the Vader City Council last week, and I wasn't able to be there, but I believe that we did not have any comments.
Okay.
And we do also have some programs for people. We have a low-income program where they can pay half the base rate, and we also work with people when they can't make the bill. They just need to give us a call, and we can usually give them some grace period, or we can suggest some nonprofits that can help them with their bills.
Okay.
Commissioners, I attended the Vader City Council meeting last week and presented the information. We did have one comment asking about why we were raising the rates, but that was it. I did let them know that we would have this hearing today so they could come and speak at the hearing as well. One comment was all that we received.
Okay. One of the things that we've learned over the years, or I've learned over the years, is surface water water systems are very, very expensive to operate. And again, I have received phone calls for the last 4+ years in complimenting the county on how well they have managed this system, because one thing is we have to have safe and clean water. So, and I know that was the concerns of many, many people. So we will continue, it sounds like, and I appreciate all the work that everyone does. And also I appreciate the citizens of the water system too, for their input. So, thank you. Hey, any other questions? Okay. Okay, now we'll open the question and answer period. During this time, the public can ask questions. And this is different than the public testimony, which will come later. Now it's time if anyone has any questions, staff. They can ask staff.
Thank you, Commissioner Eric Martin, County Manager. So Josh, you mentioned why you were raising rates. Do one of you want to comment a little bit on why this increase is necessary at this time?
It's just the increased cost of providing service. We see our own costs, our bills are going up every year, and we need to make sure that we stay on top of our rates as well.
So recover the costs.
Yeah.
Yes.
So. Okay, is there any other questions that they can ask? They can. Okay. Oh, come on up, sir.
Come on up.
My name is Robert Goff. I live in Bader. My question was why the increase? And we were told at that meeting that it was an accessibility study or something. That's why they came up with this rate increase. It was nothing about operation or that they were inquiring more cost or, and that's my complaint about. It was some kind of study they did and came up with this base and extra charge. Thank you.
Well, we have not done any studies recently. When we took over the system, there would have been a rate study to establish the rates, but we have not done any studies recently. So I'm not sure what they're referring to with that study reference.
But you must have done some work to evaluate that this needed to happen. So there's some kind of review of the.
Oh, yeah. So this coincides well with the budgeting process. So we get to review our costs for last year and our projected costs for next year when we determine what an appropriate raise is.
Okay. Robert, are those, does that answer your question, or are there some other questions you have? Please feel free to. Okay. So, yeah, absolutely. No. So is there, maybe after the hearing, could we, if there's some follow-up questions you want to talk to Josh about, and maybe we can get some clarification on that possibly from your end, or that? Well, it's unfortunately, probably, it sounds like it's, because of budgetary items that we need this increase, because ultimately what happens, and I will tell you from experience, is the county has done all they can to minimize those So there is not a huge impact. But if we don't continue to raise those rates, then we're going to get further behind. And then it's going to be a greater impact to the citizens of who's on the water system. So it's always a challenge. There's no question about it. And maybe, looking at it from next year's standpoint, there would be an opportunity to maybe get with Public Works and to see exactly, and we could do a little more planning as far as getting from citizens involved directly earlier.
And we've had this discussion internally about how we approach rates, and we've decided that it's less impactful to do smaller increases yearly as opposed to a 10% increase every so many years. We think that that's a better way to approach the rate increases.
Colonel Ronnie Ropes, Centralia area and a former commissioner. I think it might be helpful, when you go to the public and say, costs are going up, it might be helpful to talk about what some of those costs are. Because as it's been pointed out, this is a surface water system, and so it's got chemical costs to it.
Yeah.
We got personnel costs that continue to go up. We get taxes. One of the reasons we took over this system was because the attempt to keep the costs down had reached the point where the system wasn't being maintained, and it actually got closed down about 12 times on a boil water basis for it. And the resources weren't in the community to keep it going, and we eventually ended up with the system. But it is a point that the system has to pay for itself, and it has to pay for future expansion. And so those things are all part and parcel. And I appreciate this idea of making smaller annual changes rather than going off and then all of, giving them relief for 10 years and then banging them with a 20 or 30% increase is certainly a worse way to do it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, are there any questions for Betsy? Okay. Now we'll close the question and answer period. Staff, would you like your opening statements incorporated into the hearing?
Yes.
Okay. Now we'll open the public hearing portion. Do we have any signed up there? Or if you'd like to sign up, you have 3 minutes to testify, submit your testimony. Okay. Okay, now we'll close the hearing for public testimony.
I move that we approve Resolution 19-289.
Second, a motion is made and second to approve Resolution 19-289. That's approval of proposed modifications for the Vader Enchanted Valley Water System fee and rate schedule. Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Passed. Okay. Thank you. Now we'll move into the next resolution, 19-290. That's a hearing of the Lewis County 2019 budget related to emergency and supplement appropriations to the transfers within the current expenses and other funds. First, we'll have a staff report followed by a question and answer period. Then we will close the question and answer period and open the hearing for formal testimony. Anyone wishing to testify, please sign up in the sheet at the lectern. You'll have 3 minutes. We'll now move to the staff report.
Thank you, Commissioner Eric Martin, County Manager. I'm going to stick to the script here in just a minute, but I wanted to make a couple comments about this particular amendment. It's a little bit unique, at least from the ones I've been involved in, because in this particular case, for both the general fund and all funds, our revenues are outpacing our expenditures just for the amendment. This is not the whole budget. This is just the amendment. But I think it's good. I don't think that we're required to report increased revenues or amend the budget for increased revenues.
Yeah, in the past, typically we show those in the projections for year end. We don't always amend for those unanticipated revenues.
But I think it's good that we're doing it. And I think it's, it's just continued to show how much transparency we can provide to the public and to also show them that, you know, it's not always us coming to you saying we need to spend more money. Sometimes we actually collect extra revenues and things go the other direction. So that's the case here today. So as you listen to the numbers, you'll see that. So copies of this detailed budget amendment are available in the front of the room if anyone would like a copy. And this hearing pertains to the recommendation to amend the 2019 budget as indicated on Resolution 19-290. Notice of this public hearing was published in the Chronicle on September 24th and October 1st of 2019. The notice, as published, reflected an increase in expenditures of $1,010 and an increase in revenue of $1,350,698. Subsequent to the notice being published in the paper, the need to amend other funds became necessary, resulting in decreased expenditures in the amount of $98,490. With the changes incorporated, this total budget amendment reflects an increase in expenditures of $901,520 and an increase in revenue in the amount of $1,350,698, resulting in an increased estimated ending fund balance in the amount of $449,178. The general fund portion of this amendment is an expenditure increase of $246,060 and an increase in revenue of $921,723. This results in an estimated ending fund balance for the general fund increase of $675,663. I'll turn it over to Ms. Butler here, who will go through some of the details for you.
Good morning.
Good morning,
Good
Becky.
morning.
For the general fund, the assessor has an increase of $40,480 for an annual leave payout. The increased revenue, which Eric just discussed, was unanticipated revenue from PILT, PUD privilege tax, unclaimed property, and DNR timber revenue, which amounted to $779,737. The treasurer has an increase of $34,448 for extra help wages, overtime, and an annual leave payout. Increase for the clerk's office for an annual fee for jury services in the amount of $2,631. Increase indigent defense costs $90,000 for truancy and Superior Court felony offenses. County administration has an increase of $10,000 for strategic planning professional services. The sheriff has an increased revenue and expenditures in the amount of $141,986 for an agreement with the Criminal Justice Training Commission, reducing the operating transfer to noxious weed fund by $75,000. For other funds, we are increasing $100,000 for attorney's fees for substance abuse and mental health treatment cases in the ITA program. That's the Involuntary Treatment Act for civil commitments. Reducing the transfer, as mentioned above, to noxious weed by $75,000. The auditor's O&M fund has an increase of $15,000 for software maintenance associated with the prepaid postage. Capital Maintenance and Repair Fund has an increase in revenue of $6,500 for a Washington State Department of Agriculture, Health, and Safety grant, and an increased expenditures of $31,000 for capital maintenance projects at the fairgrounds. The Capital Facilities Plan Fund has an increase of $183,000 for an architect review of the exterior ceiling on the Law and Justice building, as well as other capital repairs. Solid Waste Utility has an increased revenue and expenditures of $17,475 for salaries and benefits. This is an overlap in the solid waste manager position. Solid Waste Disposal District has an increased revenue of $280,000 due to an increase in garbage fees collected and increased expenditures of $198,985 for additional transfer services and increased contribution to solid waste utility, as mentioned above. Increased $50,000 for IT equipment related to cybersecurity and data management. And finally, general liability has an increased revenue of $200,000 for insurance recoveries and an increase of $60,000 for professional services. And that concludes the details.
Any questions?
No, I don't.
Okay. Now we'll open the question and answer period during which the public can ask questions. This is different than the public testimony, which comes later. Now it is the time to ask the staff questions if anyone has questions. Anyone? Okay. We'll now close the question and answer period. And would you like to have your opening statements incorporated into the hearing?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Okay. We'll now open the hearing for public testimony. Does anyone sign? Do we have any? Okay. We'll now close the hearing for public testimony.
I have some comments I'd like to make.
Okay.
This is very unusual to be getting more dollars in. I would like to remind the folks about our budget. It's pretty complicated. There's 77 different budget buckets, so to speak. And so there's the general fund and then there's all other different kinds of funds. So we may get increases in one, but not in others. And so you have to look at each individual budget to get the true picture. But this is good news for those
good news.
budget buckets we were just talking about. So it's nice. It's good news. We normally don't get a lot of that good news, but that is. Thank you. Thanks for all your work.
Yes, very much appreciated. Thank you.
All right. I'd like to make a motion to approve Resolution 19-290 regarding the Lewis County 2019 budget related to emergency and supplemental appropriations to and transfers within the current expense and other funds.
Second. So a motion is made and second to approve Resolution 19-290. That's the hearing for Lewis County 2019 budget related to emergency and supplemental appropriations to the transfer within current expense and other funds. Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Passed. Okay, thank you. Announcements.
Well, I was just going to reflect on this last weekend. It was the Onalaska Apple Harvest Festival, and there was a wonderful parade, biggest parade that I've seen there. It's increasing every year. And last night I attended the farm to table dinner, and once again, that's the biggest one they've ever had. So I just appreciate the work that they've been doing out there with their lodging tax and bringing people in and spending their money in Lewis County.
A lot of people, the weather cooperated. It was a little rough in the morning, but weather cooperated and lots of people out there. And again, it just wasn't Saturday. There were plenty of events going on Sunday too.
Yes.
So thank all the Alliance and all the
Mhm.
people that were involved with that. So thank them.
And I thought we had a really good mayor's meeting last week. If you have a chance to come to our mayor's meeting that starts at 9 o'clock on the first Friday of the month. And the mayors always have some interesting things to share about what's going on in their area and for them to network with other people. We had the ports there. We had federal partners there. It's really a good place to have a dialogue. The next meeting we'll have will be November 1st, which will be our roundtable, legislative roundtable, 5th annual. So we will have our legislators here. So we invite anyone to come in on that day at 9 o'clock and be a part of that roundtable.
Yes, and one of the things too, when we go around and share ideas, one of the Commissioner Fund, we specifically ask if there's any legislative topics that they want to address, they need to get those submitted so we can be very organized and very concise on getting some information to our legislators so they can carry that message back with them. Press conference. Do our press?
Or comments? Yeah.
It's Colonel Ron Averill, President of the Lewis County Seniors.
Well, you're close. You're very close to press.
I'm
so.
close. Thank you. As you know, because I think both of you have purchased tickets, I hope both of you have, We are holding our second annual fundraiser, Night of Magic, at the Twin Cities Senior Center on Saturday, the 19th. In addition to wanting people to come, and hopefully those that are watching this might consider that, just get a hold of our senior center and get details for it. It's $45 a person for the meal. But we also would appreciate if there are any items that people might have for the silent auction and the large auction, or desserts for the event to help improve it. We would appreciate receiving those, and just get a hold of Glenda Forga, our Executive Director, Twin Cities Senior Center.
Do you have her phone number?
I should.
Okay, okay, sorry.
It's the old one that you all had. We
Okay.
didn't change it.
Okay.
So it's
Colonel,
just-
thank you for all your hard work on this.
Yes, yeah.
It's lots of volunteers, and appreciate your work.
Peter Lamont, President, Lewis County Historical Society. This Saturday at 2 o'clock, we will be hosting the Labor Wars movie at the Chehalis Theater. If you want some good insight into what happened back in the 1918, 1919 era in Centralia and Seattle and Everett, please come out and support the theaters and the museum's effort there. Also this weekend will be the Lewis County Train Show at the fairgrounds. And it's a sold out event. If you like model trains, that's the place to be. And Peter Lamont, Port Commissioner, Port of Centralia, if you can't get enough of budgetary stuff, it's our preliminary budget meeting on Wednesday at 2:30 at the port office on Galvin Road. Come out and see what we're doing with your money. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Peter. Now we have the press conference. And it looks like the press is no longer here.
Right.
So
But I would like to say a few more dates. So on October 10th will be our county budget meeting all day. So if people are interested, maybe you haven't signed up to be on our budget committee as a citizen, but it's an open public meeting. So folks, if you want to know more about our budget, please come. And I was going to mention one other thing. Last week, we had a meeting regarding the cold weather shelter that's at the fairgrounds. This will be our third year. And I was just really impressed with all the people that came. So we had the Lewis County Sheriff, we had the Centralia PD, the Chehalis PD, we had our Centralia and county managers, we had the Salvation Army, we had Central Services, the Fairgrounds, the Housing Resource Center, Linda Tomaszek from Valley View. It was wonderful to see everybody there, and Bethel Church Centralia has done a great job in organizing that and having their volunteers pulled together. So soon they'll be opening, but it was a great meeting to see everybody in that room working on the same common mission to have a shelter for folks during the cold weather. That's all I have.
okay,
Okay,
anything else?
no. Seeing no further items on our agenda, I move that we adjourn.
Second? Motion's made to adjourn. We're adjourned. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Take a look at the posters if you have a chance.
Well, I mean, they were all lighting up, so. We need 3 new lines. Now I guess I get to do this electronically. And do you need, I don't need to sign these, right?
Kayla, this is Rita at the Commissioner's Office. I had an email from Melissa about notice item that we had sent over. I'm gonna look through it real quick. Do I need to do these at the time or they? Okay.